Today, I'm happy to welcome you to the Voices of YPO Journeys of Impact podcast. We have a Middle East, North Africa, and Europe podcast between the two regions, and this is the first episode we're recording from the Europe region. So I'm honored to have with us today Pauline Duval from YPO Paris, and we'll be talking about what her impact journey is, what her leadership journey is, and I'm going to throw it right to Pauline to answer to us. And can you tell me a little about the current leadership role you've got, and what kind of work are you doing? Quick overall introduction.
Hello, Peter, and thank you for the invite. It's great to be here. Right now, within YPO, I'm a member of YPO Paris
Hmm.
and in the Athena implementation group. And
Okay.
I also served as Europe's Athena champion.
Okay.
Last year, I had the privilege of leading YPO Paris as chapter chair. But
Okay.
outside of YPO, I'm the CEO of my family business, Groupe Duval.
Hmm.
I'm the second gen of this company, which is diversified in real estate,
Hmm.
tourism, golf,
Okay.
and microfinance. And we employ 6,000 people in 20 different countries in Europe, Africa, and Asia.
Wow.
Across actually all these roles, I've focused on promoting diversity and sharing best practices between leaders. A major priority for me was encouraging more women to join YPO so we can build a more inclusive community.
Hmm.
So after 8 years as a member, I've gained a solid foundation in leadership,
Hmm.
membership development, and diversity. I believe that diverse perspectives are not just fair and ethical, but they drive also better decision making. And so at the end of the day, my role is really about sharing YPO values,
Hmm.
experimenting with new events and meeting formats, and scaling the initiatives that work and could make a real difference. I think it's a journey of continuous learning, and YPO provides a perfect environment for it.
As you mentioned, experimenting with different formats and scaling them and sharing those, what would be one of the best examples? Is there one that maybe surprised you or one that really was the most impactful that you've tried or that you've shared?
Yes, so one of the biggest challenges we had, as I told you, was finding new women. So to address these challenges, we created in YPO Paris women's prospect lunches.
Hmm.
These gatherings gave potential members a real sense of YPO through personal stories and meaningful connections. So a little tip we had was choosing lunchtime instead of dinner.
Okay.
It made it more accessible for women CEOs who juggle family responsibilities.
Hmm.
The goal was to make prospects feel welcome and involved. And it's about creating an immersive environment where people immediately see themselves as part of the community.
That's
The
great.
lunches are simple, informal, and consistent. So one dedicated lunch to prospects each year.
Hmm.
Plus, we did 3 female members lunch where we also invite prospects to ensure the follow-up.
Okay.
And this model delivered results because 7 out of 13 guests began the recruitment process last year.
Fantastic. Congratulations on that. And and how has being part of YPO in general impacted your approach to leadership? You've mentioned the new leadership models you've learned and experimented. Has that also opened up new opportunities for you outside of YPO?
Yeah, I think leadership is about finding effective solutions and ongoing challenges to ongoing challenges. For me, one of the biggest challenges I faced was attracting more women to YPO.
Hmm.
And I quickly noticed a few common barriers in France, but also abroad, I guess.
Hmm.
Many women underestimate the value of networking. They feel they don't have time for events,
Hmm.
especially when they are moms. Or they sometimes don't feel comfortable asking their companies to cover membership fees. That's
Hmm.
crazy, right? Yet the power of strong network, especially YPO, can be transformative. It can open doors, accelerate learning, and even like provide effective support and creative solutions in ways that other networks can't.
And what advice would you give to a new YPO member who's just starting out and looking at how they can make an impact and how they could start their own learning journey?
I guess, you know, YPO is amazing. They create great values. So my biggest advice would be to be proactive and stay true to YPO's core values. So by being, if I remember, generous,
Hmm.
respectful, inclusive and trustful.
Hmm.
And that what makes the community unique, you know. And if you lead with these values, everything else follows. So I guess, don't be afraid to try new formats, new ideas, new approaches.
Hmm.
Don't rush also to launch big projects.
Okay.
Sometimes just some of the best initiatives actually that I know of, they started as simple experiments. So start by listening to members, understanding what matters to them,
Hmm.
and actually just building from there, right?
Yeah. And imagine leading a 20,000 person global company. These same lessons you're probably using with your teams as well of this listening and looking at how they start new initiatives, etc.
Yeah, I guess I think YPO has changed my leadership style. It made me more grounded, more confident, and much
Hmm.
more aware of the value of vulnerability as well. You know,
Okay.
I've been a CEO, I was 30 years old.
Yeah.
So uh, in most business environment, you know, leaders rarely have a safe space to open up. But
Hmm.
in YPO, trust is the foundation. So sharing honestly and listening to others do the
Hmm.
same has reshaped the way I lead with my teams within my own family business. YPO has also opened doors I actually didn't expect, you know, collaborating with chapters across Europe, joining the Athena implementation team, and connecting with leaders from all over the world is really inspiring. So yes, I think each experience expanded my perspective and pushed me to grow, both personally and professionally, I guess.
Okay. Fantastic. Well, I really appreciate you taking the time to share your lessons with us today and to share all these inputs.
Anytime, Peter.
Thank you, Pauline.